I'm Locum23, and this is in response to Boogie2988's video about Epic Games, as well as just the massive outrage that I've seen lately about Epic Store versus Steam and how Epic is bad. And so if you'll just give me a moment of your time, I'd like to go ahead and have a civil discussion, and maybe even clear up some of the misinformation that you've heard online about what's going on. So let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room, which is Epic Games taking certain games like Metro Exodus and Outer Worlds and putting them exclusively on the store. But Outer Worlds isn't exclusively on the store. It's still available on the console market, and it's still available on the Windows Store. The developer who is making Outer Worlds just has decided to not put their game on the Steam store for a year. And pretty much that's a decision that the developer has made, and it's just a decision that they went with, and you would have to ask the developer for a reason why. One of the things that comes to mind is the fact that developers are being charged upwards of 30% for just having their game available on Steam. That's it. Versus Epic Games is charging far significantly lower for developers to put their game on there. But not just that. If developers are using the Unreal Engine to develop the game, which a lot of them are, Epic Games, who created the Unreal Engine, is saying, hey, guess what? We're going to go ahead and take a minimum of 5% off of the surcharge of using the Unreal assets and everything that we made for you as the developer. Not just that, but you also receive launcher updates as well as email updates for when a game goes and gets updates or anything, and all revolving around games that you do have accessible in your library. The only thing I ever get from Steam is an email saying, hey, by the way, there's a game on sale on your wish list, or they're having a Steam sale. One of the things I'd like to fairly point out is the outrage culture that is using a tool called review bombing. It pretty much is a huge disservice to you, me, the developers, and everyone else involved when a group of angry individuals goes online and starts typing a negative review that has nothing to do with the game. And you take, for instance, the most recent example is Metro Exodus, and people went and reviewed bombed Last Light 2033 and even Metro Exodus on Steam to try and make it look bad and trying to be actually hurtful to the consumer, the developer, and trying to indirectly or directly affect sales. And so if you were a person who wanted to buy those games, you were going to the page, seeing mostly negative, and thinking, wow, this game is garbage. And you, as a consumer, may not have any idea that the games actually aren't. But then you, if you want to find out why, you click that mostly negative, and you go down there, and you have to then go through the vitriol of comments that say that the game is in complete crap. This tool is something that is used outside of gaming community as well. It's something that was used most recently on the Captain Marvel movie, with a bunch of people either rating it 10 stars and it's the most fantastic movie they've ever seen, or 1 star and it's the worst movie they've ever seen because of Brie Larson and the fact that she said something out of terms and had nothing and absolutely to do with the movie whatsoever. Another thing I like to point out is Epic Games, spyware, malware, they're taking everything you have! It's actually a work of fiction if you actually went online and saw that these sites are in fact not collecting everything you have, your pictures, your data, your information and everything, and they're hoarding all of this. It's been something that's been passed around the internet for a couple of weeks now, and it's, if not, getting more flamboyant and blown out of proportion. And again, please use this thing between your ears and go check online. Don't believe something because you see a Twitter post or Facebook post. We've talked about this in the last few years about fake news, misinformation, and things like that. Please take a moment of your time and go online and see if it's true or not. Now, one of the things I can point out is, yes, as a content creator as well as gamer, I am tired of all the launchers. And I get that. We have Steam, we have Uplay, we have EA Origin, we have Activision Blizzard, we have, my god, we're going to be up to a dozen, if not more, launchers here soon enough. And if you use other products for your headset, your mouse, your keyboard, or things like that, we're talking about tons and tons of software. But for those launchers, unless you're particularly using those games, you don't have to have those launchers running. And if you're tech savvy at all, you can access those games without ever having to use the launcher whatsoever. So you might want to possibly look into that. And yes, Epic Games is susceptible to security breaches, hackings, fraudulent charges even to customers. And some of that happened recently with some Fortnite customers. However, it was resolved, remedied, and Epic Games is still looking into the whole thing. It happens to some of the biggest online conglomerates: Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Sony. I can go down a huge list of every single online entity has had fraudulent charges to customers. Steam, as of just a few minutes ago, I can go online and see people posting that they have had fraudulent charges done to their account, and it's a thing that even Steam has most recently updated their fraudulent charges page and how to get those things taken care of. Yes, Epic Games Store does have a lot of issues, and yes, it is very simplistic and lacking a lot of features that we have come to love and grow with. Steam is an evolving entity which for over 16 years has given us a lot of joy. I myself have quite a large library of games, and I love Steam. I'll never stop using them. I'm not going anywhere, Steam. Mwah, I love you. But we have to keep in mind that Steam, again, has been around for a very, very long time, and that Epic Game Store has been around for how long? Now, to go ahead and let you guys see what they're doing and what they've already done, I'll include a link in the description down below. But pretty much as of late, they've done store searches, free game notification, code redemption improvements, collection and bundles, offline mode functionality, enable preload, and regional pricing. Then for the next month, they have improved searching, improvements to offline mode, install management under the hood overhaul, store video hosting, store page redesign, improved DLC support, multi-SKU, cloud saves, add-on purchase checks, improved patch sizes, and then beyond that is user reviews, wish list, newsfeed, follow improvements, price adjustment bundles, additional payment methods, additional currencies, player playtime tracking, mod support for games, Epic Games overlay, library improvements, and so much more. One of the things that I would like to personally suggest to you is to go try Epic Game Store. It's free. Don't even buy a game. Just go over there and look and click on some games and look at how seamless and just smooth and sharp the screenshots, the pages are, the videos that are embedded on there that play without any issues. Something to this day that Steam seems to not be able to get right with embedded videos. Also, while you're over there, if you go to the store and see that every 2 weeks they give a free game to you no matter what. You don't need a subscription service like Xbox or PlayStation. They give you a free game. Right now is Oxen Free, a fantastic game that's available on a lot of places that's free. And then in 2 weeks' time, The Witness is free next. And this is a continual process that happens every 2 weeks just for being a part of Epic Games. Did you know that the Epic Game Store also has a content creator program? For eligible content creators, they are able to get some compensation for any and all purchases that you make. All you simply have to do is enter their creator tag or name at the checkout process, and they get something for your purchase. And guess what? It does not come away from the developer. It's out of Epic Store's pockets themselves. Can I go ahead and be real for just one moment from my heart and mind to you? So, I want Epic Game Store to have the features that Steam has. I realize that competition is good, that one fat cat should not control everything, and up until recently, Steam has. Yes, you've got the other launchers that have a couple games here or there from, first-party entities, but no one's really challenged Steam until lately, and it's a good thing. I'm the type of person who, if I have a complaint, I typically follow it up with something that is criticism or how to improve that to whoever I'm complaining to. And if you look at the mass droves that right now are happening, and even content creators starting to get in on this, you're seeing them that basically just no to Epic Games and yes to Steam. And they're not really coming up with any solutions whatsoever. So here's my solution. One of the things we need to stop doing is no to Epic Games! Because competition is good. We need to, however, go to the developers and say, I know you're considering Steam or Epic Games, and I know Steam's going to charge more, and Epic Games is saying they're going to charge less, but why not both? Perhaps the developer, if you purchase through Epic Games, will not charge for the DLC or the updates, or they'll actually lower the cost like they've been doing on Epic Games. And that may be kind of like a benefit for selecting Epic Games. That itself would hurt Steam, at least we can hope, by saying, Epic Games is making millions of dollars more than us because they're offering more to the consumer and we're getting less. It'll start to hurt their pockets, or again, so we hope. You've also got to hope that they look at that developer and they say, we value you as a developer and the merchandise that you're going to put on our storefront. We also value the consumer and what you're willing to give them. And then it begins the haggle, it begins the competition. Imagine right now for just a moment that Epic Games charged 10% and Steam charged 10%. Well, would the developer then do maybe free DLCs or updates on both platforms for those of you who would rather, have that happen versus paying for those DLC and updates? Because the developer then is getting more money. They're being more valued by someone, and people are not taking that into account whatsoever. Now, keep in mind, Epic Games is going to continually have that advantage for those who make their games and use assets on the Unreal Engine. Steam really can't beat the 5%, if not more, surcharge for the Unreal and Unreal assets. They really can't beat that because they don't really have any of the assets of Unreal or anything like that whatsoever. So then Steam has to sit there and wonder, how do we, if we're doing 10% and Epic's doing 10%, how do we beat Epic at their own game with that 5% Unreal assets? It's hard to do because we don't own it. So Steam has to think of something, some way to compel that developer to, hey, pick us. But again, do I want that? No. I'd rather have both, and maybe they could beat each other in sales or something. Like, hey, someone's offering 10%. Oh, they went to 15, they went to 20, they went to 30, they went to 50, they went to 75. I'd rather have that as a consumer. I'm pretty sure you and I can completely and utterly agree on that. I'd like to go ahead and give you guys one more piece of advice. That is, stop the whole anti-Epic Games rhetoric. If you guys have paid any attention to the American media and the free press that you can get by having this outrage culture and the constant rhetoric and hatred and spewing and everything, and even misinformation, that basically it's free press and it's helping the one side that you didn't want help, but you're helping. So I'd like to go ahead and include this in the video for Steam users real quick as a statement they released that they are redesigning the whole entire thing, and it is looking gorgeous. I'll go ahead and include a link down below, but pretty much they're redesigning everything. So they are redesigning the Steam library homepage. Not only will it look more organized, it'll be fully customizable. You'll be able to increase or decrease thumbnails and everything. It looks fantastic. Like I said, I'll include it down below. You'll have an integrated friends list now, activity thing right there on the library. You'll also be able to see recent actions from your friends. You'll also be able to see the games that they're in. You'll be able to instant join. Other highlights include, library view thumbnails of your game collection, which will be sizable. You can blow it up, shrink it. A game list will be a lot more noticeable. Achievements, screenshots, playtime. Other categories you're seeing will be more visible or less visible, depending on what you prefer. There's a brand new feature where you can tag. The tags you see will be added to on Games Steam Store, will carry over to your library page. This provides you with additional option to search games included in your library. You can also tag a search as a collection of similar games. So it's looking like there's events tabs and there's all these things. Again, it's down in the description below, but what I'm seeing here is looking very promising. So this is where I bid you farewell. Hopefully I did a fair job with everything. I wanted to, correct some misinformation, some things, give my own personal opinion, as well as a lot of things that some people aren't covering that is pro and con, as well as some, hey, breaking news about Steam, and then, just give it my all. Hey, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments section below. Keep it civil. I'm all for, civil arguments and disagreements and constructive feedback and things like that. Hey, tell me if I could do better and what I could do better. It's greatly appreciated. But you know, I just love the gaming industry. I love games, and there isn't supposed to be all this vitriol and hate about it. You're supposed to just game, man. That's why we're all here, to get away from the drama and the crap of real life and just have fun. And we're all supposed to be gamers together. And that's what my whole community is about: is being positive, about reinforcing one another, being there for one another, and not being vitriol and hatred and spewing, you know, all sorts of crap that we see on an every second to daily basis. And yeah, so, you know, hey, I hope to catch you guys later, and hopefully Senpai noticed me.